the hopes and dreams of Kenyan and African women who have emerged as the central force in my social transformation. Honorable Chair, with your permission, allow me briefly to share my upbringing and background. To live full and impeccable life, raising 6 children with unwavering strength and serving faithfully in the church in various capacities for many years. She handled her grief with much dignity, embodied resilience with grace, and instilled in us enduring values of honesty, integrity, hard work, fairness, accountability, and above all, the deep fear for God. Her life remains wellspring of strength and inspiration to me. As I navigate my own journey, which now includes widowhood, I draw courage from her example, proof that even in face of profound loss, one can rise, rebuild, and live fully a meaningful life and serve others. I grew up in Game in Siaya County and in Migori, and I attended Ogande Girls High School in Homa Bay County. Later, I joined the Highland School in Eldoret for my A-levels before proceeding to the University of Nairobi for my Bachelor of Arts degree with education as option, specializing in geography, which exposed me to the environmental issues. After university, I taught geography and general paper at Highway Secondary School for 2 years, and later at Kenya High School for 13 years. I also served as education officer with the Ministry of Education in Jogo House. However, even as I focus on my career, I realized that being the partner of then a political activist and someone who would later be recognized as the father of democracy in Kenya, it came with very heavy price to pay. This including sacrificing my teaching career and having to raise my family single-handedly as a young mother for a long period of time, particularly in a hostile political environment. Much about it is in the public domain, so I don't want to dwell much about it. Honorable Chair and members, for most of my life, I have often found myself in peculiar spaces that needed bold voice, a voice to speak for those unable to speak for themselves, a voice of reason and reconciliation during critical make or break moments in our nation and in our continent. And just like the biblical example of Queen Esther, who did not stay silent, but spoke out when it mattered and saved the whole nation, my life and work have been deeply affected by issues that inflict vulnerable populations across the great continent. I have done my best to speak out for them, all the platforms that have presented themselves to me. Allow me, Mr. Chairman, to mention a few of them. I have dedicated my life to advocating for empowerment of women in leadership and in governance. I founded the League of Kenya Women Voters to advocate for women's rights and expand participation in governance, and together with other reform-minded